So here is an update on where RFK Jr. stands on the battleground states. We've got Arizona. RFK Jr., his time on the ballot was among the shortest he spent as an official candidate. He filed to get off the ballot one day after he qualified. And departing the ballot may end up being critical here because of that, he was able to get removed quickly. So he's off, and that's good in Arizona. Kennedy seemed poised to get on the ballot, but the issue of his residence became an obstacle. Trump currently has a razor-thin margin there. Yeah, and Kennedy will not appear on the ballot in Georgia, so that's good. He's not going to be there in Arizona. He was able to be removed without difficulty in Arizona. Georgia, he's off. Michigan, I think Jocelyn Benson, she's keeping him on. Okay, so he's going to be on in Michigan, which is going to be a tough win anyways. Pointing to a law that prevents candidates. The judges upheld that there, so he'll be on in Michigan. Missed the deadline to get off in Nevada. Two sides agreed in a settlement that a lawsuit would be dropped and his name would be removed. So he's off in Nevada. North Carolina, and Kennedy is not going to be on the ballot there either. Now, Kennedy will no longer be a wild card on the ballot here. And the official names did not include Kennedy. That's huge. Okay, so Kennedy will not be up there in Pennsylvania. Huge. And in Wisconsin on Monday, a circuit judge ruled against Kennedy's plea to have him taken off. The decision could pose a danger for Trump in Wisconsin. That one sucks. So he'll be on there. Without Kennedy on the ballot, Harris leads Trump 50-47. And Kennedy's holding 5% there right now. Yeah, so 47-41 with Kennedy on the ballot. If Kennedy's off the ballot, it's 50-47. Got it. So, yeah, that stinks in Wisconsin. So, got to alert people in Wisconsin, obviously, that Kennedy's not on the ballot, or he's on the ballot, but he has endorsed Trump. So that 5% goes over towards Trump. So that's a win for the Democrats. So they've got two nice victories, one in Michigan and one in Wisconsin, which is their blue wall, but they've lost in Pennsylvania, lost in Arizona, lost in Georgia, and everywhere else. So that is all good news. Now, we're going to say what's up to you, my friends. I know there's also an evidentiary hearing against Big Fannie Willis that's happening right now. We're going to recap all of that live. So we'll go through, we'll hit the recap on this. But this one was a fun one. Gavin Newsom made it illegal to post election ads that use AI against him. And the Babylon Bee is doing their very best to comply with the new law. And so what they've done for us here is shared a 100% officially real Gavin Newsom election ad, exclusive from his office. And it's clearly not illegal because it's from Gavin Newsom himself.
Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. This is a message for the people of America,
Oh, hey,
given in
Gavin.
my authentically recorded, non-AI voice. Thanks to my leadership over the last several years, California has become a world leader in extremist left-wing government.
That's true.
My policies were so effective that almost 1 million people are now fleeing the state every year.
Yeah, this is real.
We even ran out of U-Haul.
Yeah.
During the COVID pandemic, I locked everyone in their homes and shut down businesses for months. Not the French Laundry, though. That's my favorite restaurant. Last year, I cleaned up the dangerous, messy streets of San Francisco because Chinese Communist President Xi was coming, and I really wanted to impress him.
Yeah,
He's
we remember.
my boss, after all.
Yeah.
This year, I signed legislation that allows me to take custody of your kid if you refuse to give him artificial hormones and chop off his genitals. Because if you don't do that, you're a bigot. And bigots shouldn't be allowed to have kids.
That's true. Yeah.
I've also led the way in green
That's what he
energy
said.
by banning all cars that don't run on electricity. Then I banned almost all the electricity. This is smart leadership. On my watch, the cost of living and homelessness have skyrocketed. Schools are failing. Drug dealers and human traffickers are pouring across the border. And poop has covered the sidewalks of San Francisco. This is the positive, joyful vision we offer as Democrats. That's why I'm enthusiastically endorsing Kamala Harris for president in 2024. She'll do to the country everything I did in California. Anyway, I'm California Governor Gavin Newsom, and I approve this 100% real message.
100%.
Which is a recording of my voice without the assistance of any AI
Totally.
whatsoever. This isn't a deep fake. And you can rest assured that it isn't, because I just signed an unconstitutional law outlawing deep fakes.
That's how you know.
No one would dare violate it.
Definitely not.
Thank you, and science bless America.
Definitely. Science bless America, and don't deny the science. So that was clearly, I mean, it sounded like him. And not only did it sound like him, but it was clearly representative of all of his policies. It's exactly true. All of those things that he said in there, he's done those things to California. It's a dumpster fire over there. And he is cleaning up disinformation and misinformation out there. So clearly, if this was fake, it wouldn't exist, because Gavin Newsom's protecting us to keep our brains safe from misinformation. Thanks, Gavin. Or your name is. All right. So that's Gavin. And hopefully we see a lot more of these types of videos from Gavin Newsom. Clearly the real version of him, spread all over the internet like wildfire. All right. Let's see what you guys say about this. It's a beautiful morning. We also have this evidentiary hearing that's happening. And we've got Ashley Merchant is over there right now. Let's listen to this real fast, see what they're doing right now.
Questioning so they could prep that witness. We've not been unreasonable. I emailed every single witness that we subpoenaed and said, talk to me. Most of them emailed, if they did email back, just telling me, no, thank you. But if there were any questions, we've tried to be accommodating. The only request we had, we even were willing to accommodate Ms. Willis to testify by Zoom once we found out she was out of town, and we were told no thank you to that as well. So we're not trying to harass people. We're just trying to find out where these documents are and why we're not being given still to this day. So I
feels a little spicy.
Okay. Oh, and Judge, we've got all the subpoenas if we need to reserve them. Ms. Alabi said I have copies of them. She's emailed. She can have my originals. I can hand them to her right now. She said she'd take notice of all of them. I can hand her all of those. Previously, Ms. Monroe had said and I would just state also for the record, when I did reach out to witnesses, I was told in no uncertain terms Ms. Monroe represented them. So we didn't serve as a boss of Bali because we didn't know. This is the first we heard when she filed this. So I had no idea. Ms. Monroe was the one that was representing. We served Ms. Monroe with all of them. We copied her and everything. We haven't talked to any of these witnesses without Ms. Monroe being copied. But I'm happy to hand those back over. Additional copies of these witness subpoenas. Happy to.
Okay.
Come on, Judge, agree with Ashley, whatever she just said.
I think I've made it pretty clear what my thoughts were in reviewing the filings by the parties and trying to get to what are the merits of a very narrow issue, which is, are these public records resolved? Were they requested? It appears they were, but maybe if there was some confusion about the nature, I can hear about that. And if they were requested, were they produced? And if not, why? It sounds as if we have agreed that we can try to move forward with Ms. Miller and Mr. Ball regarding the merits of, did they receive requests? How did they get processed? What did they do to comply with the requests? And what did they do to produce? And then, as Ms. Alabi requested, I will reserve ruling on the motions to quash the subpoenas of the other witnesses unless and until, and that includes the subpoena to Madam D.A. Willis and the motion for contempt for her to not appear, because I think those motions are premature unless and until those witnesses are called to testify. And I say, yes, I would like to hear from them, because it's possible that Ms. Merchant might say, I want to call insert name of other witness. And I say, why do you want to call them? And then I'm allowed to say, I don't really think I need to hear from them because I think it would be immaterial or cumulative of testimony I've already heard. And so unless and until she calls a witness that may or may not be under subpoena formally, and I say, yes, I want them to take the stand, I don't think I need to rule on either the sufficiency of the subpoena in terms of its service or the scope of what was requested in the subpoena, unless until that issue is presented to me. So I will accept your lobby to preserve or to reserve ruling on those motions to quash until such time as I have to, until I think they're ripe. So it is 12:30. We've been going since this morning. What I'd like to do is take about a 45-minute break so we can all refresh ourselves and clear our minds and maybe get some food so we don't fall over. from hunger, and then get started at 1:15 with actual substantive testimony and hearing. Okay?
Wow. Okay, cool.
Anything else I need to address before we adjourn for 45 minutes?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So that's going to be fun. So we're going to have some testimony today. Ooh. So 1:15 their time. That's going to be like 10:30. Okay. So we'll do a recap on the show. We'll just hit the highlights on the show. Yeah. We'll just accelerate. We'll compress. We'll hit the highlights and that'll be fun. Okay, cool. So that's going to be the plan, my friends.